Hey everybody, welcome to road.cc. Well, we're still in lockdown. That means I'm still in my garden and we still have to have stuff sent to my house rather than the office, which isn't universally approved of, must be said. But the shiny stuff keeps on coming. So without further ado, let's have a look at what's landed this week. First off, we have these. This is Hunt's 4050 carbon aero disc wheel set, £819. What do we know about these? Well, Hunt says, many of you asked us about bringing the benefits of mixed depths over to our disc brake range. And so of course we listened. Going deeper on the back provides additional aerodynamic advantages, but the shallower front end improves stability. Now, that's not news. We've seen TYREs for a long time running a disc wheel on the back and then a deep section carbon on the front. You can't really run a disc on the front because the deeper you go, the more the side winds affect your steering. So this is a mid-depth racing performance wheel set for a disc brake road bike or a disc brake gravel bike. It is reasonably light, 1458 grams is the claim weight. We weighed these at 660 grams at the front and 902 at the back, so heavier, but that's including the lock ring there and the tubeless tape, so not entirely bare. Because they're disc brake wheels, they don't have to worry about anything to do with rim braking. So that has two advantages. One is that you can make the shape of the rim and the section of the rim specific for a disc brake. That means you can make it lighter and also you don't have to worry about the shape of it up here, which helps with aerodynamics. And the other thing is, if you're using rim brakes on carbon, then you have to use resin that has a very high melting point because the rims can get very hot during long braking sessions down an Alp in the summer or something like that. But here you don't have to worry about that. So Hunt uses a resin with a much lower setting point, and that means that they're more impact resistant and they're less brittle. So that's what they say. Very interesting stuff. Like most disc wheel sets these days, you can have them set up however you want. Hunt will set them up in the factory with either through axles or quick releases, depending on what your bike uses. They use straight pull hubs, they use pillar spokes that they use on all their wheels, I think. And the free hub has 48 points of engagement, so it's 7.5 degrees to engage. So it's quite quick. It's quite clicky as well, if you like that. I know some people do and some people don't. And also it has a steel insert here, a bite guard to stop your cassette from biting into your alloy free hub there. So there you go, that is the Hunt 4050 carbon Aero disc wheel set, £819, and you can get it on their website. We'll be testing them as soon as we can. Right, next up, which seems like a bit of an anomaly when it's baking out here and I'm having to sit under a parasol, is this. This is the GALIBIER IZOARD insulated gilet. Now, I like an insulated gilet. They're really good for cold mornings or when you're doing a ride that goes into the evening, or if it's just really cold and wet and you want something to put on to insulate yourself underneath your waterproof. Now, a lot of the insulated gilets you'll see these days use Polartex Alpha insulation, which is very good, very low pack weight, it doesn't get wet. It's also very expensive, so the gilets, I've got two of those and the ticket price of both of them is over £100. This GALIBIER gilet is under £50, £48.25 I think. And it achieves that partly by being GALIBIER, have always been really good value, and partly by using more of a standard synthetic insulation like you might find in a sleeping bag or a padded jacket. So it's lightweight, it's a 40 gram per meter squared insulation, so there's not masses of insulation in it. Front and back panels are insulated, and then the side panels are this kind of stretchy roubaix material, which will keep you warm. You don't need the insulation so much here, and it also means you've got a bit of stretch in the garment, so it will fit a bit more closely. That's good. Also, it's reversible, so you can have the black side, we can have the orange side there, so you can have a bit of dusk time visibility, and it's got 3M reflective on it as well, so you'll be seen after dark. Slightly disappointed that there isn't any pockets at the back, where there's sort of a little pocket that goes all the way across rather than ones that you can dip your hands in. Yeah, it might be all right, I haven't tried it yet. But it also has a chest pocket on both the black and the orange side. So there you go, that looks really good value. I'll be waiting until it cools down a bit and I'll be having a ride around on that. So that is the GALIBIER IZOARD insulated gilet. The Cadex Race 25 tubeless tyre. So, professional pelotonners generally used tubular tyres. So tubular tyres on tubular rim, you glue them on. Increasingly though, we're seeing tubeless tyres enter the peloton, and this is one of them. Cadex is Giant's accessory brand, and these tyres, says Giant, are designed for peak race performance. Cadex race tubeless tyres have won over the pros of CCC team through their superior speed, ultra lightweight and supple ride feel, apparently. So CCC team are using these on their race bikes. It says ultra light. This 25mm tyre is 280 grams, so it's not super light, but it is tubeless, so you don't have to have the additional weight of a tube. And it uses a single layer casing, a supple race casing, Cadex call it, or SRC, because everyone likes a 3-letter acronym, don't they? And there's a Kevlar puncture strip in here as well to keep things from intruding. So there we go. Giant says it worked with the CCC team on the rubber compound for these. They chose a silica-based compound, which is optimized for minimal rolling resistance and grip in the wet. And there's a bit of tread on here that you can see if I give you a little close-up of it. There we go. And all that Pro Team tech doesn't come cheap. So this tyre retails at £64.99 each. So you're going to need 130 quid to equip your bike with those. But if you fancy them, we'll tell you whether they're any good or not once we've been out and had a little rant about on them. So that's them. And lastly, for this round of shiny stuff is this. This is the NITERIDER SENTRY Aero 260 rear light. So, how aero is your rear light? I'll bet it's not as aero as this. Look at that. Designed to cut through the wind. That might be important to you. Probably it's not. Probably what is more important is that your rear light gets you seen. So this one, if I turn it on my finger, there we go, has a 260 lumen main beam, which you should be able to see that from quite a long way away. But it's also got this rather nice kind of red matte section here, which lights up as well. So you get a lot of visibility. They claim 260-degree visibility for that. Certainly you get plenty of visibility from the side. So that's good. In this flashing mode, it runs for 7 hours, so it's good for a long ride. And it also has a group ride mode. Let's see if I can find that by switching all the way through there. There we go. So just on low there with a little bit of light, so you can be seen in your group, but it's not killing the rider behind you with a death beacon flash. That's pretty good. Uses this rubber strap. There's an extra long one, so you can fit it around an Aero seat post. It's designed to work with most Aero seat posts, and there's a little groove in here that they will sit into. And it is IP64 waterproof, so you can't chuck it in a lake or anything, but it should be all right for riding about in the rain. So that's that. That is the SENTRY Aero 260 USB rear light. That's £40, and we'll be giving that a go soon. So that's our shiny stuff for this week. If you've got any questions about any of these products, ask them in the comments below, and we'll get them answered for you. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more like this on Road.cc. Thanks for watching.